Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, February 10th, 2026. Wherever, whenever, however you're watching, thanks for making us part of your week. And we are now 2 days removed from what was Super Bowl 60. Very entertaining game over at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, and we'll be doing our best to give you our viewpoints and our analysis and opinions from that game and where we go from here, of course. I'm Tim McClellan, along with our league commissioner, John Natali, and of course, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast. And he just released his latest episode just yesterday morning, and I took a good listen of that. John Flynn. So, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing great. I can't believe this season's already over.
Yeah. I recorded the podcast yesterday, just about a couple of hours after the conclusion of Super Bowl 60. So I was like, I was like raring to go, and that's where everything came about.
All right. So no better subject to start with than recapping this game. The Seattle Seahawks have won their second Super Bowl in franchise history, taking down the New England Patriots by a score of 29-13. On the passing side of the game, Sam Darnold, he went 19 of 38 for 202 yards with just one touchdown, no interceptions, and he was only sacked one time for 8 yards. And by the way, I should mention, he had 20 turnovers in the whole regular season. Did not make one turnover in the postseason. That is absolutely amazing. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, Drake May had a okay game despite the slow start that the Patriots had. He went 27 of 43 for 295 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 interceptions, and he was sacked 6 times for a total of 43 yards. So those are highlights there. And the eventual Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III, pretty big, especially in the late part of the third quarter and all the way in the fourth quarter. 27 carries for 135 rushing yards, which is not too shabby. So, and of course, the only real touchdown that was scored by the Seahawks was a touchdown pass to A.J. Barner, who I believe is going to become a very, very good receiver in the next couple of seasons for the Seahawks. Because pretty much they scored, what was it,
Five
field goals?
Yep, 5 field goals by Jason Myers in the game. That's a single game Super Bowl record.
Yeah, somehow he wasn't named MVP. I would have thought it would have been him, but
yeah, I can understand. I can understand why though.
Yeah.
The way now that I thought about it, had Kenneth Walker not done all those rushing yards, Myers probably wouldn't have gotten those opportunities for field goals.
So, I mean, if the game was a lot closer, let's say the Patriots scored let's say the Patriots scored a touchdown. If it was like a 22-17, 22-20 type of game, then I think Myers would have probably had a better shot to be the MVP. I was watching the game with my dad, and I said, and I was thinking shades of Mark Mosley in '82, kickers winning MVP, which of course he won with a season that had extenuating circumstances due to a lockout, but. So, but I mean, basically everything I told you that Seattle was going to do in terms of game management, that's exactly what happened in the first half. They were going to go down the field, settle for field goals, trust your defense to play at a high level, take advantage of the matchups that they had against the Patriots offensive line and Drake May's inability to properly attack the zone defense and the too high safety defense. Like and like it was a lot easier of a pick than I thought. Like I'm on my podcast poll that 85% of the people picked the Seahawks to win, and mind you that the follower vote of the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl pick was wrong each of the past 5 years, but they were not wrong this time. And I mean, and Seattle basically, but then again, guys, it was clear since the beginning of since the beginning of November that the Seahawks were one of the two best teams in the NFL. You could debate the order between Seattle and the Rams, but it was clear that the true Super Bowl this year was the NFC Championship game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I mean,
definitely so.
Yeah, I mean, all three of thinking all three of those games were with the Rams this year. They were tight. They went down to the wire, and it was just high level football throughout. And Seattle could theoretically have swept the Rams, if Sam Darnold didn't have that bad game in Week 11 against Chris Shula's defense. So. That's a lot to think about there for that, but what we also said was that the Seahawks were the best. I mean, I argued Seattle was the best team I saw. I just didn't think they would beat the Rams in that Week 16 game. But they were the best team I saw all year, and I'm happy they did that. I'm happy that the Patriots as a football fan, the Patriots were not rewarded for having the luckiest string of games that I have ever seen. I mean, in terms of what happened with the Chargers and the Texans and the Denver Broncos, and then they faced a real healthy team in the Super Bowl, and they got exposed for the frauds they were. So, I mean, so for once, I'm happy the Patriots lost as a football fan. I didn't have a preference on who won, because I mean, as a Giants fan, because the hate watch stuff wasn't there. But yeah, as a football fan, I'm happy Seattle got rewarded, and really Seattle building through the draft. And so they nailed their drafts the last 3 or 4 years, like drafting Devon Witherspoon, and by the way, Derek Carr was a second round pick in 2023. He had 2 sacks on Sunday night. Byron Murphy, their first round pick in 2024, he also had 2 sacks last night. So their draft picks showed up, and Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, was a second round pick in 2022, which I was honestly, I mean, and I think if we go back to when we did that mock draft segment in 2022, I was amazed that Kenneth Walker wasn't drafted in round 1 of that draft.
Kind of got an overlooked. Definitely flew under our radar, but
I mean he had a huge performance. I mean, remember, he was at Michigan State the year before, and he had like a 4 touchdown performance against Michigan, a team that ultimately wound up in the CFP that year. So I was just amazed at the Twitter tough guys on that.
yeah, interesting there. Well, one thing I really want to talk about. I mean, I've heard everybody say this morning on ESPN, the greatest redemption story for any quarterback in recent memory, the great Sam Darnold. You think about him coming into the league back in 18. drafted by the Jets, played 3 years there. Wasn't really much to help with them. Then he goes to Carolina for a couple of years. Doesn't really do much for them. Then he goes to San Francisco, where he does extremely little, I guess.
Yeah,
But then, of course,
but also remember in San Francisco, yeah, he got like a PhD in quarterback play under Kyle Shanahan. So and then it carried over.
Carried over to his year in Minnesota last year, where he was filling in for the injured rookie J.J. McCarthy, and he did an awesome, great job. I think he led the Vikings to a playoff, if I'm not mistaken.
14-3 regular season record in 2024, and then
they decided they want to try to groom up J.J. McCarthy a little bit more, so they let him go. And Sam Darnold was signed by the Seahawks. And at the time, I was not too impressed. I think, how is Sam Darnold going to adjust to this? He hasn't really done much in his career. And now, after the Super Bowl, it's just one of the greatest, like I said, one of the greatest redemption stories in recent NFL memory. I mean, it's just awesome what he's done for himself. I think he's got, what, 1 or 2 years left on his contract?
Yeah, he has 2. So he signed a 3-year, $100+ million contract with Seattle prior to the start of last season.
So if he has another successful year next year, maybe they can talk about an extension, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fascinating what Seattle does at the offensive coordinator position because Clint Kubiak is now the coach of the Raiders. So I think Seattle. What I've been told is that the OC hire is going to be internal. So someone from the offensive coaching staff will be promoted to the offensive coordinator.
So it'll be interesting to see right there. So the halftime show, didn't watch it. I'm not into Bad Bunny or any of that stuff. I mean, I remember there used to be a string of some great performers that did halftime. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, The Who, the Rolling Stones, Prince. They had a great lineup, but it seems like just halftime for me, it's just not watchable anymore.
I said, but I mean, I think one thing that was in the NFL circles, what was a clear desire to expand the brand of the NFL globally, which is why you have all these international games now, because there seems to be like a big international appeal to American football. I mean, you have the Australia game with the Rams and the 49ers got week number 1 next year. So that's actually 2 opponents that off the possibilities chart for whom Seattle can face on the opening kickoff in next next season. So you definitely have that as well. Although a conservation activist Robert Irwin his father was the famed crocodile guy Steve Irwin. And also Robert Irwin won this past season of Dancing with the Stars. So he said something that he can that the only reason he's picking Seattle is because they have an Australian, the punter Michael Dixon. I mean, Michael Dixon, the punter, was fantastic. All the times where the Patriots had to start in their own territory, all the punts inside the 10-yard line. That even if Michael Dixon wound up being the MVP, I wouldn't have batted an eye on that either. So,
that would have been
And also the thing about Seattle is that they invest more in special teams than anyone else in the league. And you had Jason Myers and Michael Dixon, the punter. So and you can argue the two of the best of their respective positions. So so I'm very happy that they're rewarded for special teams as well because they were the unsung heroes of Super Bowl 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were. Jason Myers, one of the best coaches in the league, right there, really did his part in that game. So, of course, you mentioned the Australia game that's coming up next season, and of course, also next season. I know one team that's going to be in this one, the first ever NFL game in Rio de Janeiro. And if I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys are going to be in that one, but they just haven't found an opponent yet.
Right.
So we're just going to be interested to see how that. Okay, we got to talk about the other side. Patriots coming in here. Drake May has a pretty good yardage, but he got sacked. Let me see this. Where's my screen here?
Yeah.
6 times for a total of 43 yards. Did throw 2 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 interceptions. I think this game. I mean, like I said, Drake May had an excellent season. In my opinion, this is just a temporary setback.
Yeah, but I mean, I think because of how awful his playoffs were. Think about where the Patriots, the luck the Patriots ran into in the playoff run. The Chargers were they went into the training camp with 2 stud tackles, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. Both of them suffered season-ending injuries. Slater during training camp and Joe Alt mid-seasons, and Justin Herbert had no protection whatsoever. It also didn't help that Greg Roman couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag in that one as the offensive coordinator in that one. I mean, the Texans had a bad offensive line, and CJ Stroud turned into a pumpkin. And then the AFC Championship game, the Broncos were the only team in the league that had one quarterback play all their snaps until then. They get a QB injury, so Jarrett Stidham takes over, and then you had the surprise snowstorm in the second half of the AFC Championship game, and it wound up favoring the Patriots. But the offensive line was terrible in each of the 5 games. Each of the 4 playoff games, Drake May was sacked 5 times, and this comes also on the heels of the Patriots having the easiest regular season schedule when you tally up the opponent win-loss after the season. The second easiest schedule in the last 50 years. The only other one being easier being the '99 Rams, who actually looked like a Super Bowl team in spite of the weak schedule. So. Yeah, but because of that, Drake May is going to have something to prove next year, and not only that, the schedule gets a whole lot tougher next year. So it's because if you take a look at the out of conference opponents, out of division opponents for the Patriots, because they play their division rivals twice a year as always, but their home opponents next year are as follows. They're home against the Packers, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Broncos, because the Steelers were the same place finisher in the AFC North. And then the AFC has the one extra road game next season. So in addition to their 3 divisional rivals, so are you ready for the list of their other 6 road teams they face next year?
That's ought to be interesting.
So they're at the Bears, they're at the Lions, they're at They're at the Chiefs, they're at the Chargers, they're at the Jaguars, and they're at the Seahawks. So that means four of those 6 teams made the playoffs, and the 2 teams that missed the playoffs among those 2 were the Lions and the Chiefs. So do they have are they going to win any of those road games next year?
Mm.
I mean, maybe Kansas City. If I don't think the roster is great. But perhaps Jacksonville, if they take a step back, and they have to go to Seattle and play in Seattle next year.
Go to Seattle for a Super Bowl rematch.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get Patriots Seahawks as your week 1 season opener.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, and speaking of Seattle, that they actually have a lot of interesting possibilities for their opener. So the Seahawks, in addition to hosting the Patriots, it won't be the Rams and the 49ers because they'll be playing elsewhere. The Cardinals probably not, but in the out of division opponents they face, they have the Cowboys, they have the Giants, they have the Chiefs, they have the Chargers, and they have the Chicago Bears. So. So all those matchups aside from Arizona are pretty intriguing.
Oh
Yeah.
Sam Darnold going against Sam Darnold against Dak Prescott. That will be a different, interesting matchup.
I mean, but a team that generated a lot of ratings this year was Chicago. So Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson. That's one of the best stories in football this year. So a lot of that too. With that. So
I'll definitely keep my eyes on those Bears. I don't know if the Lions can bounce back from the disappointing season that they had last year. Packers are still the Packers. Vikings did a lot of work, so that NFC North will kind of be interesting to look at for next season, though. So the Seahawks beat the Patriots 29-13. And of course, that means the Seahawks will open the season at home for week 1. And like Flynn just said, it'll be interesting if they put the Patriots in there. For week 1, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be the first time where the 2 teams that met each other in the Super Bowl one year meet each other in week 1 the following year.
I mean, Denver and Carolina met 10 years ago after their Super Bowl. Because the Panthers wound up being one of the home opponents for the Broncos the following season.
Right. Oh, okay. So I mean, that's still going to be an awesome matchup on that opening Thursday night. So that's I guess that's all I can say about the Super Bowl here. And so since we're reflecting on the Super Bowl, reflecting on the season, we're kind of reflecting on some fantasy football lessons we learned from this past season. It was a very interesting season. Of course, if y'all know, our good friend Alex Putnam ended up as our season champion. Once again, congratulations to him. But the 3 of us, I had a very dismal season right from the get-go, and I'll explain that a little bit later on. But Glenn and Natalie, they both did very well. I'm sure everyone did. And of course, I can't wait for next season because we know we have at least one more person that will be joining our league. That's, of course, our friend Vampire Luke. So We're just going to see if we can try to get one more. We'll see what happens there. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these lessons that we learned from this past season in fantasy. Flynn, you got your list up there, so we'll give the floor to you first.
Yeah, because I know these lessons came. They didn't come from what happened in this league. I didn't because I had the best record in the league and was one and done again in our league playoffs and the league semifinals. But these lessons came from the other leagues that I was in. So yeah. So lesson number one. I was right on Dak Prescott. I was right on Drake May. Because because Dak Prescott in the league I won, he wound up being my quarterback, and I wound up having Puka Nacua, George Pickens, and Devon Achane in that league as well. But I knew Dak was going to be drafted later this year because he was coming off an injury riddled last season, and and I knew that his stock was going to be a lot lower because we're swarmed by a league with Burrow and Allen and Lamar and Hurts with that. So if you have your strong intuitions on a guy, get him while you can. If he's on your list of your guys, you got to go get him. So Chase Brown was on there on that list as well. I got him in round 2 in I think two of my leagues. So and he wound up being the top 10 running back as well. So you have that as well. And so that's lesson number one. Lesson number two. This is something I think Bill Belichick once said about the structure of sports. I don't know if it was him or someone else, but but who you play matters just as much. So and I mean because in a league where you had a lot of incompetent rosters, like like the thing that doomed all these contenders with star quarterbacks in the AFC was that they had major weaknesses. And that's those weaknesses wound up losing teams big games for teams this year. So you have to play your matchup. Matchup matters. Who you face matters. Because that's what made it. What made Drake May such a lethal quarterback this season in fantasy. So you have that. The NFL is a week-to-week league, unlike the rest of sports. I think one of the best examples of that is Rome Odunze, of the Chicago Bears. He had two weeks this year where he had over 100 receiving yards, and then turned out to play like a double agent the rest of the way. And it also didn't help that he got hurt. And then in the playoffs, in each of the 2 games he played, in each game he had 6 targets, each game 2 catches, each game 44 yards against good secondaries. So the NFL is week to week. So sometimes you have to play your matchups. Find great performers in high demand, low supply positions, and because in the league in the league I won, I got Trey McBride, and then in two of my leagues, including the one we're in, I had Christian McCaffrey, and I was kind of nervous taking him, but the floor was so high with McCaffrey on a week to week basis. So you had that as well, and then I think the Viking case this year, because look, I picked the Vikings to win the NFC North. I think if there was one season prediction I would take back, it would be picking the Vikings to make the playoffs and win the division. But So, but Justin Jefferson did not have a good season, and that was because of bad quarterback play. I mean, McCarthy played, he got hurt again, and then they had to deal with a carousel of bad quarterback play, and also and the thing was McCarthy coming off that ACL tear. I mean, do I think McCarthy is going to be better next year? Sure. I think it really takes 2 years to recover for someone to fully recover from an ACL tear. But the quarterbacks that the Vikings played this season were JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosmer. And so not exactly the best quarterback room, especially considering so that the guy they let go just won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks in your conference. So yeah, it's who you're surrounded with does matter, and the relationship that matters is the quarterback receiver relation. Look at Burrow Chase. Look at what happened with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Look at I mean, look what happened with Stafford and Nakua. Those connections matter, and the best ones have high level quarterbacks. So those were the 5 lessons I learned. Well, I will come. We will all come back to this in August. Prior to our drafts, and this will be how we're going to strategize going into our draft on the Friday of Labor Day weekend. So those are my lessons. So you want to go next, Natalie?
Sure.
All right, here you go.
Yeah, my first one I put, stacking rookies doesn't always work. Last season, I had about 4 or 5 rookies on my roster, and I ended up being the league winner. This time, I ended up with roughly the same amount, maybe one or two less, give or take. And this time, it did not pan out at all. Yeah, Ashton Genty didn't really have a solid rookie season. What's his name? Omarion Hampton, he was injured, but then I acquired him when he came off injured reserve. He didn't do much of anything. Yeah, I'm trying to recall who else I had, but like you said in the description, the rookie classes vary from year to year. They won't necessarily have the same playing ability, despite being a round 1 pick. They might not play like a round 1 pick.
Right.
I mean the fact that Tedor McMillan won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, where I mean, if we had a healthy Cam Scatterboo and or a healthy Jackson Dart, and we started Jackson Dart week 1 of the season, if Cam Scatterboo was atop the running back chart week 1, I mean the Scatterboo was a big preseason miss for me because Scatterboo had because Scatterboo at one point was number 3 on the depth chart of running back behind Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. But so yeah, I mean you didn't have the quarterback talent of overall this year. I mean Tyler Shuck, I think could be something going forward. I think he could be someone who can take a big leap forward in year 2. But yeah, I did not understand your approach with that in the draft because this rookie class offensively was not as highly talented as the one from the previous year. So I think and that was a big reason why Tally missed the playoffs.
Yeah, especially number 2 here. Yeah, always go with your first instinct, whether it's drafting, whether it's setting your lineups. Because it turned out it was week 14, the last week of the season. I initially had Dallas Goedert in my lineup in the flex position, but something told me to change my mind and put in Omarion Hampton because the Chargers were fighting for a playoff spot at the time. And yeah, because of that, because I didn't stick with my gut instinct, Goddard scored more points than Omarion Hampton, and I missed the playoffs because of it.
Yeah, although one, I mean, believe it or not, there was some sort of logic with that because Jalen Carter did not play that game because he was hurt. So, and considering how the Giants ran all over Vic Fangio's defense, in Week 6, a game where Jalen Carter was a surprise inactive. You also but then and the Chargers preach physicality. They always say offensive line, but that didn't work out because the Chargers like what the Patriots took advantage of and what Philly ultimately couldn't take advantage of because Jalen Hurts was a double agent that night. That the Chargers couldn't run the ball still because they couldn't block for him.
Yeah. And then I noticed for number 3, the late round quarterbacks were strong this year. Like a lot of the quarterback 2s in drafts were playing a lot better than the quarterback 1s. Like you say in your description here, like Dak Prescott, Drake May. Drake May was a back of the line quarterback 2. And look what happened to him. He went to the Super Bowl, and Caleb Williams went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, in all 4 of my leagues, I had either Dak or Caleb. I had one of those. I mean, with the exception of this one, because I had Lamar Jackson, but in my other leagues, I went for either Dak Prescott, Drake May, or Caleb Williams. So that was my plan all along, and in the leagues where in the 2 leagues I drafted Dak Prescott, I made the playoffs, and in the league I missed the playoffs in. I was hoping because I was drafted because I was in a 12-team league. I was because I had the 7th pick, so I had the 7th in round 1 and the 2nd in that one. I was banking on one of those 2 quarterbacks being available in round 10 or 11. Both of them were gone, and there I knew it was going to bite me in the ass at some point down the stretch of the season. So,
and then number 4, I play. Don't sweat over the injury prone players. Yeah, just because a player got injured doesn't necessarily mean they won't make a comeback next season. Because look at what Christian McCaffrey did. He was injured last season, and then just like that, he came back and won Comeback Player of the Year award just like that.
Yeah, I also put Devon Achane as the example because he was banged up last year, but when Achane was playing, when he was 100%, he was a consistent 20+ point performer in PPR formats.
Yeah, and he was very good in the passing game too. Yeah, just like you said there. And then my finale veteran running backs were actually quite solid. Yeah, Travis Etienne was the first one that came to my mind. Yeah, the Jaguars made it to the playoffs at least, so they had that. Yeah, Javonte Williams, he was pretty solid for the Cowboys, and DeAndre Swift, the Bears made it to the playoffs. The Bears had a better season than people anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, all 4 of the players we listed below, they all finished top 15 this year in fantasy. Including Williams, who finished number 13. I mean, I think part of it was because Dak was so good this year, and Williams was pretty good coming out of the backfield, and because. Well, with the combination of the Cowboys' offense being good and the defense being so historically bad, that made Javonte Williams that made the Cowboys take more offensive reps, and that meant more opportunities to log points on plays for Javonte Williams. So Javonte Williams, I think, turned out to be a sneaky league winner this year.
Oh yeah. And there we have it. Those are my 5. So I guess we heard from Flynn, we've heard from me. Tim, your turn.
Yep, here is my list of lessons that I learned this year. Number 1, never draft 2 quarterbacks too early. I'm looking back. All right, Flynn, I hear you snickering.
I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was for me drafting 2 quarterbacks early. I'm actually looking at a draft recap from this past season. I drafted Dak Prescott in the 2nd round, and then in the 5th round, I took Jared Goff from the Lions, and I guess it's probably my downfall right there. I mean, the Lions, they really didn't have a great season as they had last year. And of course, the Cowboys' offense was the only good thing about the Cowboys last year. So most of the fantasy points came from the offenses. Of course, we play with the defensive players, but I don't know if I think I may have played maybe 1 or 2 Cowboys defensive players, but I don't know why I did. My second point here, kind of going back to what Natalia was talking about, or it's almost similar. Don't assume you have to drop a player who's on injured reserve because sometimes they will be eligible to return later in the season. For instance, Sam Laporta, the tight end for the Lions, he went on the injured reserve, and I was thinking about going ahead and dropping him. But I thought to myself, no, he may come back. He may come back, but I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, I mean, IR slots are there for a reason on my in my chart there.
Yeah, I mean, in the league I was the commissioner in, I made sure I put 3 IR spots. So I mean, usually it's only 1 or 2, but given that injuries, that there's so many injuries in the league now, I bumped it up from 2 to 3.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that this was the year of the torn ACL because
I think every year is like that now, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Number 3 is sophomore slumps do exist. Don't fall for the post-rookie season hype all the time. I mean, as an example, Brock Bowers. He had a great rookie year with the Raiders. Came into this season as the number 1 tight end in fantasy. Don't exactly know how he finished, but he kind of had a disappointing season. But probably because the Raiders wasn't that great of an offensive team anyway. So, and of course there were some other ones here. I just looked up a few names on the text. J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings. Yeah, he's a top.
Well, I mean, McCarthy didn't play last year.
He didn't play last year.
But I mean, other names that I should have put in there in that number 3. Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors. I mean, Neighbors tore his ACL in week 4, but had an unbelievable week 2 against Dallas, but that was pretty much it. Brian Thomas Jr. that took a big step back this year. Lad McConkey took a step back this year, but
yeah, he took a little bit of a step backward last year. So yeah, you can't always assume that rookies that have a good rookie season are going to have a successful second season. Can't always assume that. Number 4, drafting running backs from the same team could be profitable. Perfect example right here: Kevin Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. Both did very well for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say about that, is like if you have like drafting like if you're drafting those running backs both inside the top 100, I mean, it might, I mean, unless you're Sonic, unless it's Sonic and Knuckles, Jameer Gibbs, and David Montgomery, I think that I mean, but I think you kind of have to try and swing for the fences with this. If you draft a running back super early, so I mean, let's say if it's let's say you draft Christian McCaffrey with your round 1 pick, then you can come back later on, like pick like in like round 13, 14, or 15 to draft Brian Robinson Jr. That could be a good strategy because with McCaffrey being the vulnerable running back he was, as based upon how last year 2024 was one a tumultuous one for McCaffrey a year after he won Offensive Player of the Year 23. So but I think you have to be careful with that because because you're not gonna have not every team has a running back room like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
All right. So, and number 5 was a lesson that I definitely had to learn the hard way. Let the draft come to you. Don't try to force anything. Looking back now at our draft day results right now, with the draft that I had, I was projected to finish dead last in our league. Good news is I didn't finish dead last, but the bad news is I finished 9th in the season. So I guess trying to pick out a player that I think is going to do instead of taking the best available player, because you kind of you're probably thinking that this one person may do better than this other person. Somehow it doesn't work that way. In fact, looking at it right now, the person who had the best finish from a terrible start was Dino. He was projected to finish 8th. He actually finished 4th. And the worst drop was actually Natali. He was projected at 4th, and then he finished 7th. So then like I said, I was projected to finish dead last. I finished next to dead last. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see how that wound up being with everybody. Let me pull this up on here. Yeah. So what he said, Dino finished 8th, and I was projected to finish 8th, but wound up finishing 4th. You said.
I believe so. That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, he was great. I mean, he had Devontae Adams, George Kittle, and Jalen Hurts, as his things. And then what was the difference? The opposite way was the tally. You said.
Yeah, the tally was projected to finish 4th, but he finished 7th.
Yeah, I mean, the Malik Neighbors injury killed him, and Xavier Worthy, Marvin Harrison Jr. They were both underwhelming. Ashton Jeanty was underwhelming. I mean, like the bright spot really was Baker Mayfield. Is in the that's what kept you afloat in the first half. Yeah.
And let's also see here. There's only three of us actually finished where we were projected. Lucas was projected to finish 3rd. He did finish 3rd. Alex, he was projected to finish 5th, and he did finish 5th. And then there was Casey. I think Casey was projected 6th, and then he finished 6th. So that was interesting to see right there.
Yeah, and what was also interesting, what was that the preseason projections got the top two seeds right. Me and Andrew, they got the bottom two teams, David and Tim,
Yeah.
as well. This is all regular season stuff. So didn't account for Alex and Lucas making the final despite not being top two.
So anything can happen here.
Yeah.
So definitely something to think about when we get to this coming August or early September when we have our next draft. So
Yeah, and one thing you should do is do practice mock drafts. It's like go to fantasypros.com, go to places where they do fantasy mock drafts, and see how and if you just put yourself against a bunch of computer players, like and what computer models would say, that lean towards that. So I've won championships in the last 2 years because of it. So
yeah, so that'll be definitely something for me to think about. I want to give a shout out to Daniel here. Daniel, how you doing? Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for keeping up with us all season long. All right. So that's basically lessons we learned and lessons that we're definitely going to carry over into next season. So now I think it's
Yeah, I guess if you want to do, we can go to the trivia question and then go to the results of the game we played and then answer the trivia question.
yeah.
I guess we could do that. All right. So I've got a question.
Yeah, I do.
And Natalie's got one.
Yeah, do you have it on the fly question, Flynn, or not really?
I'll probably think of one.
So yeah, I guess Tim, you'll go first since you confirmed you got yours first. Then I'll go second, and Flynn will go third.
All right, Ian. So this question kind of goes back to this past Sunday. As you all know, the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl at Levi Stadium, which happens to be the home turf of one of the Seahawks division rivals, the San Francisco 49ers. So the question is, this is kind of a two-part question. Who was the last team to win the Super Bowl on a division rival's turf? Give me the name of the team and tell me about their division rival's turf or their division rival where they play at their stadium.
Okay.
So that's my question.
All right. All right. So I guess I'll do mine next. All right. So I guess as we know, the Patriots have been to the Super Bowl the most times, which means by default they have allowed the most points all time in the Super Bowl. But my question is going to be asked a little bit differently. I'm going to do this. Among all the teams that have been to a minimum of 5 Super Bowls, which team has allowed the least amount of points? So obviously, it's not going to be the team that's won 1 Super Bowl. It's not going to be them. The answer is obviously not the Patriots. So yeah, teams that have been to the Super Bowl 5 times or more are the only ones that count. So among all teams that have had at least 5 Super Bowl appearances, which one of them has allowed the least amount of points?
I've got one in mind, but okay, I think I've got my answer here.
All right. All right, Flynn, are you ready?
Yep. I'm ready. So hopefully this should be an easy one for you guys. So Kenneth Walker won Super Bowl MVP as a running back. Who was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP prior to this year?
Oh, geez, I know the name. They said it was like 25 years ago. I just forgot the person's name. Dang.
Yeah, I heard somebody mention that the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before? Oh my goodness. Last running back. 2001. I think I've got an idea.
Yeah, I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. But I know the time frame. That's all I remember.
Maybe I think I do.
While we're thinking about that, you want to go to the results of the little mini game that you did?
Yeah, and I'm trying to look it up, but I guess it's been taken down because the game has already happened. But I could check my ESPN app right here, see if it's there. But go ahead.
I might be able to pull it up potentially. Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it on my end.
Because I think the way I found it was we had to go. I went to the group messenger and I clicked the link there. I'm gonna give that a try and see if that works. Give me a second here. I might have to scroll up a bit. So I was in there, I think, either yesterday or the day before. Let's see. Come on. Okay, there it goes. Let's see. Messenger's loading on my end. All right, let's see.
Yeah, I think I have it.
Okay.
So let me share a screen here. Give me a second. Let's see. No, that's not it. I need to share. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, all
right. This was mine. So I got 4 right. So I correctly guessed the winner. I went with tails and lost. Field goal being the first scoring play I got right. Any other player, no TD score I got right was AJ Barner. I told you it was going to be AJ Barner. I mean, Drake May had more passing yards, but that was garbage time stuff. So he wound up throwing for 295 yards on Super Bowl Sunday. Which quarter will have the most points scored? The fourth quarter in OT. Yep, I got that one. So JSN only had 27 receiving yards, while the Patriots had leading receiver had 78. I had Ramondre Stevenson having more rushing yards. That did not obviously was wrong on that one. The Seahawks had a big lead as large as 22 points. A field goal of at least 50 yards was not made. The longest was 41. And 15 or more players recorded a reception, and other player won the winning MVP. So I got 4 of them right. Let's see. So let's see. Let's open up the tallies. Because yep, this is what you went with.
Yep, Seahawks. Yeah, I said tails as well. And I was correct about the field goal. Yeah, Jason Myers scored the first points of the game there. Yep, I went with any other player. Yeah, somehow I had a feeling it was going to be Drake May. I thought he was going to get a few long throws, which happened. Yeah, granted, like you said, most of them were in the fourth quarter. I'm the lone wolf. I was the lone wolf on that one, and it panned out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the I couldn't believe there was such a low scoring game for most of the game there. I thought it was going to be lopsided by then, but that certainly didn't happen.
Right.
And yeah, that was another shocker. Jackson Smith and Jigba had a down game. That was the pretty much the obvious choice, Kenneth Walker III. And yeah, and I thought the game was going to be close for the most part, but it turned out to be a blowout. And yeah, I'm the only one that said a field goal would not be 50 yards, and I got that one right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also the final number of total yards was 666. I mean,
good Lord. 666. Oh my goodness.
666. There used to be a commercial in the New York area about that. I do have your picks, Tim, so I'm gonna pull them up right now.
Okay.
You got heads right.
I did pick Seahawks. I did get the correct coin toss. I did get the field goal first swing play. AJ Barr scored the first touchdown in a very impressive way. Drake May ended up with more passing yards. Thought third quarter would be most points scored, but it was in the fourth. More receiving yards. I thought it'd be JSN. It was Mac Hollins. Kenneth Walker got rushing yards. I thought 7 to 10 points would be the largest lead for the Seahawks. It was 22. Field goal of at least 50 yards. I thought there would be, but unfortunately there was not. Yeah, and I was also incorrect with 11 or more players getting a reception. There's 15 or more. There's 15 exactly. And Super Bowl MVP, thought it was Sam Darnold. Kevin Walker the third ended up getting that. And my guess of 535 points was a lot lower than the exact total. So, but I thought that was an interesting contest, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought I was going to do bad on that, but apparently I did all right.
Yeah. So it's time to answer our trivia questions for this week. I guess we'll go with the one that I came up with first. So again, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl on a division rival's turf, which of course was Levi Stadium, the home of the 49ers. So my question was two-parter. Who was the last team to win a Super Bowl on a division rival's turf?
Okay. Yeah, well, I was going to say the Patriots on their own field, but I don't think that counts. They can't be a rival of themselves.
Of course not.
Yeah. I feel like this has to be a place where it's a warm climate. I don't know. Something tell me it's a warm climate place. I feel like the Super Bowl would have to be played probably like in Tampa, in Miami, something like that. I feel like it's like a warm climate type of place. But I can't quite figure it out.
Well, most Super Bowls have been played in warm climate places, so.
Oh, true. I feel like it's the eastern part of the southern part of the area. Someplace that it's hot, like Texas, like Florida, something like that. I feel like it's one of those places. Now, for some reason, I'm leaning towards the Steelers and Cardinals, but I'm gonna guess the Steelers and the Cardinals place. That's gonna be my prediction. The Cardinals losing, That's going to be my guess. And then wherever. Are you talking about? You saying the team that you're looking for the team that won or lost?
I'm looking for the team that won, and on whose turf? Division rivals turf. Just like
All right, so I
Sunday.
don't think it's the Steelers then, because I don't think the Super Bowl was played in any one of those places. I don't think the Super Bowl was played in Baltimore. It wasn't played in Cincinnati or Cleveland. So that's that. So that's not it.
I'll give another shot.
What can it be? I'm looking at my helmets here for clues.
Flynn, do you have any idea? I think Natalia is kind of struggling, it seems.
Yeah, I'm looking at my helmet for clues. I'm trying to get a map or something.
Yeah.
Flynn, you got any idea?
Forget it. I'm just gonna guess the Broncos. The Broncos winning on Oakland Field, or Oakland or Vegas, whatever era it was. I'm going with the Broncos. The Broncos winning in a California field. There.
So you said the Broncos on the Raiders' turf.
Sure. Let's do it. Forget it. Let's do it. All right, Flynn, what's your answer?
Natalie.
I needed clues. I needed to think of a warm place.
So you're on the right you're on the right track.
Oh,
You're on the right track.
cool. I'll take it.
So you're talking about the division. That division.
All right. Well, what's your answer then?
Look at your map again. Or whatever the hell you have.
Yeah, it's just a poster with the helmets on it.
Look more closely.
What? San Diego?
Geez, am I the Tubbs to you, the Mr. Garrison? Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
They're in the same division.
Look who else is in the same division.
Yeah, San Diego. Let's see. LA Rams. Well, I don't know what you want me to look at. There's only 4 teams in that division.
Are the Rams and the Chargers in the same division?
Are the Rams and the who?
Rams and the Chargers.
Same conference.
Are the where do the Rams and the Chargers play?
Flynn, if you could give me a moment here. Natalia, I hate to do this to you, bro.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I don't know, I think there's like a misinterpretation here. No, I said my answer was the Broncos using either the Raiders field or the Chargers field.
So you're gonna go with that one?
Sure, why not? Oh, wait a minute. That's the same division. Oh, never mind. I goofed. No, I just realized what I did. I goofed.
Okay. You said he goofed.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so then. Wait a minute. Hold on. The Seahawks won on the 49ers field.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that is what I'm saying. So I'm going with they're in the same division. Broncos and Raiders.
So the Broncos on the Raiders field.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said all along.
Oh, okay. Well, Flynn's got a big smile on his face. I think he's got the right answer here. Would you like to enlighten everyone?
Yeah, yes. So what I was saying was that you were on the right track with the division, but 2 years ago, Natalie,
Yeah.
who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago,
2 years ago, the Chiefs.
and where was it? Where was that Super Bowl played?
Oh, geez, where was that played? Wait a minute. Was that San Diego?
No, San Diego doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
L.A. L.A.
It wasn't in L.A. It was because the Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders play.
Oh, I was so close.
I know. I was telling you, you were on the right track.
Yeah, you were on the right track.
I had 1 out of 2.
Well,
Yeah, I went through all that map work for nothing. Well, I got part of it right. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I said it had to be somewhere warm, so I was right about that at least.
Yeah.
yeah, it was at Allegiant Stadium, and it was Chiefs winning on the Raiders' turf. So there's your answer. All right, Tally.
That's it.
All right. So basically, what I'm looking for is this is based on Super Bowl appearances, minimum of 5 appearances. Out of all the teams that have had 5 appearances or more, which one of those teams have allowed the least amount of points combined?
I did have one.
All right.
Because
All right. Since Tim, you're zoned in, I'll let you make the first guess then.
you thought about those Super Bowls that the Cowboys had in the 90s, and then you think about the 2 they had in the 70s, but see, that's not my answer.
Okay.
This team really racked up points in their Super Bowls.
You're asking for points allowed or points for?
Yes, the least amount of points allowed.
Least amount of points allowed.
Okay. I might have an idea on this, so we'll see.
So my answer is not. It's not my Cowboys. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, you're gonna go with the San Francisco 49ers. All right, Flynn, what say you?
I mean, because I feel like with every Super Bowl opportunity, it's like opportunities to give up points. So it's like you might have like a 30 burger somewhere. You might you might have something like that. But although Tim does make an interesting point with the 49ers, but I think the Niners have lost some Super Bowls since they won their 5 in the 80s and 90s. So I'm gonna go with the team that makes the bare minimum of Super Bowl appearances and a team that's always been had a common denominator of a great defense. So you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with the New York Giants.
All right. Well, so let's see. I'll start with the New York Giants. All right. The New York Giants did have 5 Super Bowl appearances, so that qualifies. The total amount of points allowed, 104. So with that, Flynn, you were close. However, you get the Family Feud X. All right. And as for Tim, let's see. All right. Well, the 49ers have had 8 Super Bowl appearances.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, there's a chance that they're going to allow more points than the Giants. And they did. They allowed 179 points combined. And with that, let me see. That actually, you're not going to like this, Tim. This puts the 49ers actually 4th most overall in points allowed.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tim picked the team that they have the 2nd most points allowed among teams that have been to the Super Bowl 8 times. Yeah, the Broncos are 2nd overall with 259 points allowed. All right, and the team with the lowest point total with 5 Super Bowl appearances or more is the Rams.
Oh,
They allowed just 100 points
hold on.
in a
Wow.
total of 5 Super Bowls.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
the-
so Flynn, you weren't too far off. The next up was the Packers at 101. Then it was the Dolphins at 103. Redskins at the time were also 103. Giants were 104. So yeah, Flynn, pretty close.
All right, so how many did the Rams have?
They are exactly 100.
Oh wow, that's right. The Rams made that Super Bowl win against the Patriots, and they only gave up that defensive game. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, you weren't that far off. Yeah, Giants had 104,
Yeah.
which is.
I mean,
they're 10th.
I mean, I was thinking the Giants because in each of the 4 Super Bowls the Giants won, they gave up fewer than 20 points. So.
And Tim, as for your Cowboys, their combined point total is 132, which is 8th overall in points allowed.
All right, man. So Flynn came up with a question too.
Yeah.
So
I forgot the person's name. So yeah, Tim, you'll have to try this one. The only thing I know is it was like 25 years ago.
yeah. So the question, is this really
The last running back
Mhm.
to
So
win
the
a
last
Super Bowl.
the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP prior to Kenneth Walker?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I just don't remember the name that they said on there. All I know is it happened 25 years ago, which I believe was Super Bowl 35, I want to say.
I think that was the year. I was going to say Marshall Falk, but no, I forgot. I don't think Marshall Falk was the MVP that year. I think it was Kurt Warner.
Or actually, it might have been 35 years ago. It was either 25 years ago or 35 years ago. Because they'll put us at 2001, which I think that's not it. So it was actually probably like 1991.
91.
Probably 91. Yeah, it wasn't 25. I think it had been 35. Because, 25 years ago puts us at 2001.
1991. That was, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't remember the person's name. I know they mentioned it. I just don't remember.
The Super Bowl, was it the Super Bowl in 91?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Because that was the Bills and the team formerly known as the Redskins. What was the name of that? What was the name of that?
I can't remember. I know they said it. So
I want to say Ernest Biner, but I don't think he played for the Redskins. I think he played for the Eagles. I'm kind of struggling on this one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We both forgot the name.
I can't really come up with a name. It was mentioned the other night, but we just.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Flynn. We got stumped.
Okay, so.
Yeah, one for me, one for him. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna kick yourself into going to this one, Tim. So the Super Bowl we were looking for was Super Bowl 32 between the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers, with 157 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, including a 1-yard touchdown after with less than 2 minutes left in the game to put the Broncos up 31-24. We were looking for Terrell Davis.
Oh, okay.
Terrell Davis, yeah, he was a very great running back. Didn't seem like he lasted long though.
Yeah, just so the Super Bowl you were trying to think of 25 years ago was Ravens Giants, and it was Ray Lewis was the MVP of
Right.
that one.
Yeah,
And
my
then
math was a little off. 28 years ago, I was
yeah,
slightly off.
yeah, then the Super Bowl 35 years ago was actually the Bills and the Giants, and a running back did win Super Bowl MVP that year, O.J. Anderson.
O.J. Anderson, yeah.
He had 102 yards and scored a touchdown in the third quarter of Super Bowl 25.
Oh, okay, so Bills and Giants. That was the game. That was the game where Scott Norwood tried to kick the game-winning field goal for the Bills, and it went wide right.
Yep, for a potential game-winning 47-yard field goal was wide right, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
that's the trivia. So with that, I mean that puts an end of our coverage of the 2025 NFL season. So
Yeah, but we'll be back before you know it. We'll be back in about a month.
I mean, we have some off season. We of course have a regular off season program ready for you guys. But in terms of the NFL landscape, I mean, we did fantasy lessons learned. But what did we learn about the NFL and football this season? I mean, I think a recurring theme is draft matters, coaching matters, the coordinators matter. Ownership matters, culture matters, and Seattle had all 5 of those things, and they wound up winning. I mean, they were the most complete team in the NFL. They were the team with the fewest weaknesses. And the thing is, like, every single AFC playoff contender with great quarterbacks, they all had big holes on their rosters, like Cincinnati defense, Ravens defense, Bills defense, Chiefs offensive line and receivers. And then the NFC, you're looking at the Rams, not enough depth not enough depth on defense. The Niners, too many injuries. You look at the Eagles, lack of cohesion on the offense. It's the Packers bad quarterback play in big spots. So the Bears not enough dudes on defense, and in the last 3 years, it's a top 2 scoring defense has won the Super Bowl. So I think we're gonna see more of an emphasis on defense going forward now, because now it seems like the tide has turned a little bit back towards defenses.
Yeah, it seems like it. And one thing I could definitely say about this season is some referees should not be refereeing in the games. They still make bad calls. We've seen a bunch of them this year. We saw a bunch of them last year. I mean, I don't think there's going to be an exact way to do it. Now, I did like what they did for the virtual calls, like for calling for a first down,
Right.
I wish they would just bring out the old chain like they used to do in the old days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Bring that back. They need to call pass interferences when they weren't called. A lot of stuff there. So yeah, I mean, referees are human, but I just got to do much better.
And also what's been revealed this year, probably more than most, is ownerships all across the league becoming more impatient.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I mean, it's because like John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, and Sean McDermott, three of the longest tenured coaches in the league are no longer employed by their old teams.
Right.
Technically the Steelers, but it's that because he's technically under contract, like similar to what Sean Payton was in New Orleans. I mean, 10 teams picked new coaches this year, which was tied for the most alongside 2022, where that year also had 10 vacancies. Nearly 2/3 of the league is going to have will have new offensive coordinators next year.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, the big head coaching carousel that went on for last month. So I guess it's almost kind of settled down now.
Yeah, and the ownership is the common. Seems like the common denominator with everything.
Yep.
I mean, with Kansas City, with Philly, Seattle. Yeah, I mean, I mean, when Stan Kroenke finally woke to the horror show that was Jeff Fisher, that's when he became thing. And also, and speaking of which, he has championships with the other teams he owns, the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. So he has championships and all with all three of his big teams there.
So yeah, been a very interesting season this year, and like I said, I can't believe it's already over.
Yep,
Yeah.
season is over.
Yep. But we will be preparing ourselves for the free agent frenzy that will be coming up next month.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here.
Yeah, so sometime in March. I think it's like March 8th, March 9th is when it begins.
Yeah, I think that the free agent tampering period begins on March 9th. Starting next Tuesday, going to 2 weeks later, that's when teams can issue franchise tags. So which is like what the Cowboys are going to do with. I presume the Cowboys are going to do with George Pickens, which I think is a no-brainer.
Right.
Yeah, so around mid-March, then we'll probably be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be back in March. We'll take a nice break here.
Mhm.
But, I think we all deserve it.
Yeah, I think March 10th. I think that's a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got an interesting date for our first off-season show. St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Why not?
Yeah.
Wear some festive green and stuff like that.
I mean, I think I think you look at I mean, but I think I think March 10th, but could be a good possibility because that's when most of the free agents, big free agents, are going to have their contracts agreed to by then.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, potential free agents.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I think in terms of fantasy, fantasy is concerned. So Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis is gonna get a contract somewhere. Top running backs: Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker III, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, Rashad White, Najee Harris, Pacheco, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, as others. Top receivers: George Pickens, Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jawan Jennings, Alec Pierce, Rashid Shaheed, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins. The tight ends: Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, David Njoku, Isaiah Likely, Zach Ertz, Chike Okonkwo, K. Dalton, and Tyler Higbee and Noah Fant. Are the for fantasy games? Yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah, we'll figure it out in the next few weeks. We'll come up with a date then, I guess.
All righty, Deanna. Well, that's going to put a bow on the 2026 season of Fantasy Football Fever. But we have our off-season shows coming up starting in March. So we're going to take a little break. And we'll be back with a free agent frenzy coming up next month. So in the meantime, don't forget to check out Football Sports with John Flynn. Listen on the audio, the Apple iTunes, the Spotify, the TuneIn, etc., etc. And of course, you can also watch him on his YouTube channel, John Flynn, right there. So, wow, what a season! It's time to prepare for next season, and we'll do that next month. So, thanks a lot, guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was a blast. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember when it just started, and just like that, it's over already.
Yeah, and also remember you have the extra gap, the extra week gap this year, because Labor Day is late this year. So yes, so the season opened September 4th this past year. Next year it opens September 10th.
Yeah, and that pushes the Super Bowl back because it's the the Super Bowl is the second Sunday in February, and it happens to fall on the latest possible day. We're having Valentine's Day next year for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, boy, that's going to be interesting. So, Valentine's Day at SoFi Stadium. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the next Super Bowl is is more than a year away.
Yeah.
Yep. So, we're getting ready to prepare for next season. So, thanks for great season. Thanks for keeping up with us. Keep telling your friends about this. Of course, like I said, I can't wait for next season because we officially get Vampire League in our league. It's going to be interesting. So let's go and do it. So for my good buddies, John Flynn and John Natale, I'm Tim McClellan. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next month to start our off-season programs. Until then, I hope you have a great season. God bless you all. As always, be a good sport. See ya.